Hey, Nation, Harry here, and it's our monthly check-in with Andrew Bettany across the pond in the UK. Good evening, sir, I guess. Good morning for us. Jenny and I, we're yawning over here on the West Coast, and we're probably keeping you away from some late afternoon merriment, but thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, Harry, my pleasure. So it's Andrew from York in Yorkshire.
There we
Lovely.
go. Um, well, I'll tell you what, in our rehearsal, you raised an interesting conversation because you're both an author and a trainer, and you were sharing your insights into the speed, how rapid we've shifted to online learning and all that encompasses.
Hmm.
So tell us what you know to be true, and then I have a couple questions for you.
Okay, yeah. So what with the pandemic, the COVID-19, it's changed everyone's lives. It's
Mhm.
no, definitely a lot of people have been impacted by this, and we've seen a massive shift from people attending classes, from coming into class, to now remotely teaching themselves, learning themselves on online, or accessing online materials. And the whole business world is moving towards an online situation. So even if you're furloughed, for example, you can still learn and keep yourself. We use the term to sharpen the saw, and you are the saw. So you need to keep yourself sharp. And as businesses move more and more rapidly to the cloud, it's a great opportunity. If you are struggling, you're not as busy as you used to be, it's a good time to pick up a book and learn, or pick up an online course and learn. Just because when things do settle back down again, then you'll be sharper. You'll be more aware. You'll be into for example, Microsoft 365 or Microsoft Azure, or whatever technology it is that you've been craving the time to learn. You've now got bags of time. You've got some time to learn it. So, and I know there's a number of institutions, and Amazon and Microsoft, and I think Udemy are doing some free promotions, and Pluralsight doing some free promotions. They're all saying, look, take a month for free, take 2 months for free.
Yeah.
So I'd urge any of your viewers, Harry, to take advantage of those things. And we've all got 24 hours in the day, but some of us have got more time because they've been furloughed, or because we've been laid off, or because work isn't as busy, because not the whole supply chain are working as much at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'd urge you to take that opportunity. And and if you've been laid off, then you've got to get yourself job ready again. You've got to get yourself in a good position to be at the top of that pile, because people are going to start cherry picking who to hire again. Please, look at your resume, look at your skills, and if there's a few, if you can show a potential employer that you used that time when you were laid off between interview, and that you studied, you've got a few certifications. Honestly, it will set you apart. Especially if that's in a cloud first type role. A cloud first certification. The whole world's suffering through this. Just an aside, one of the things that I'm doing, I'm like you, I'm an author, Harry, and I've seen my sales go up because people are stuck at home, because they're reading, and it's it is impacting us all. So
Yeah.
skill up, man. That's the key.
No, it is, and a couple of things. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, here I'll pull this book. I should actually open it and break the spine and read it. A former employee. So forgive me, I'm not going to lie, but when cultures collide, a former employee, Beatrice Maltzer, gave it
Oh, I
to.
remember Beatrice. Yeah.
Yeah, she gave it to me as a gift, and basically we have cultures colliding, and a couple of points I want to make. Number one, historically, education has always been the highest ROI, right, in salaries and personal wealth over your lifetime. That's a proven fact. Number two, education comes in different forms, right? I mean, there's academic education, and then there's street learning and all that. And what I'm getting at is my son, Harry Jr., his college, he's part of the California State University system. He's at Cal Poly. Good school, and they have announced the other day that they are going online in the fall. That's a big deal. They're primarily known for engineering, and it's kind of hard sometimes to do engineering online, but they made the call early because they want people to plan. Often students will sign a new lease July 1st. August 1st for 12 months. Landlords don't do 9-month leases. And now the students can plan. So Harry's faced with the option of, maybe not staying in San Luis Obispo, California, and learning wherever he wants. That's number one. We're talking remote learning, so you can learn wherever you want, right? Go to a Colorado ski town, live the dream, and complete your coursework. Why not? I'd like to be young again. Number two, I do feel, again, not to argue against myself on ROI, but his college experience will be slightly devalued because of the interaction. Now, I do think he'll make it up in life learning, right? But the online learning experience does slightly devalue the sheepskin, the piece of paper that he'll get. He's going to come from that generation. Education's one tool. I think he'll make it up with street smarts and life learning. And then finally, Andrew, number three, again, another historical factoid, is in a recession, a lot of people just go to grad school, just keep going. I mean, dude, there are no jobs for him. Just keep going and come out the other end with a master's degree, and you'll be in a better place. To your point, sharpening the saw. It's a strategy.
Or he leverages who he knows and what he knows, and you're well connected, Harry. So he could wait along and come out the other end with multiple certifications and degrees, or you could say, look, let's go away for that. Let's have a think about all the things that you're really good at, you're passionate about, and let's create a business. What could he do if he was given, let's say $1,000? What could he do for $10,000? If you were to seed fund his dream, and he might not have it yet, but if you plant that seed now, while he's going through school, while he's going through college, and he thinks, okay, look, I've got a fallback, I've got this offer from my dad, and he knows this person, and it's, I love entrepreneurship, and I met a few really cool kids at university who went on to do some great things. And if you didn't have that seed, if you didn't have that idea that was even remotely possible, then you discount it. You don't even think about it. But I think, if you can have that buddy talk and say, look, you're in a generation that is going to be the COVID generation, that are going to come out of school or not come out of school for 2 or 3 years, and you will be impacted by this, just like some of the old people, just like some of the infirm. There's going to be a bunch of people suffering with mental illnesses over this. There's a lot of people who didn't have jobs, and they're not going to get jobs, but they're not getting even interaction with people. So there's a huge amount of support networks that need to come out from nowhere. But for those that want to make it, they'll make it through if they set a target and they go for it. And I think that's, we need to be supportive of those people, and that might help them.
Well, Andrew, what I was just doing, you probably heard me typing, no disrespect, I was just making a OneNote. I have a page for you. And so this month we're talking about education and filling your time and all that. Next month, I just made a note. I want to talk to you about entrepreneurship, because I would rather, and you're the right guy to have this talk with, I would rather today be an entrepreneur than an employee. I've had some of my good friends who are employees. One just was terminated on Monday, and he doesn't have a fallback. Entrepreneur, give me 2 quarters and sleep under a bridge, and I will survive a recession. Okay,
of course,
I'm an entrepreneur.
Of course. Yeah. And they live by the seat of their pants. No, I'd love to have a chat. If it's not next month, we'll do it the month after, because I've got a number of irons in fires, and that bit like yourself, that having multiple streams of income. Oh, it's such a relief, because it means if one dies, or if one goes quiet, you've still got the others.
That's right.
So we'll have a talk about that, and it's not. It's not an impossible dream. I did not have that, and you've been doing this a lot longer than I have. I've only been an entrepreneur for the last 5 years, let's say, when I left my mainstream work at the University of York in England, and went to Wright to do my courses and all. I can unpack all that stuff and give people an idea. You've been doing this game for 20 years. I remember you from the SBS days.
I'm unemployable. Yeah, I'm unemployable. But Hey, before we go,
Yeah,
I put the link down to your LinkedIn page, as I like to do each month down in the blog. Any shout out to one of your courses? Get,
so
get us a
so
suggestion.
as you know, I'm a little bit like you in that I'm doing IT. So Microsoft 365 is a massive product at the moment. That's the one that bundles the Office 365 and the enterprise mobility and security and Windows 10. So that bundle, the best-selling course that I have on LinkedIn Learning is my Microsoft 365 Essentials course.
Okay.
It's a good chunky 3-hour course, but people are looking at the course and emailing me after saying, can it do this, this, and this? That's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, you got it. It can. Because especially in this time where we're trying to get away from on-premises because, hey, we can't go to that premise because, we can't go to that building. We can remotely manage it all from the cloud. And that's where people are going, and it's secure and it's safe and it's protected. So yeah, go to that one on LinkedIn Learning. That'd be a good course.
All right. Well, hey, Andrew, go out, get yourself an afternoon walk. I think we're all fighting the COVID-5, as my sister calls it. I mean, I mean no offense to you.
Not
I
at all.
just get out there, and we'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you for being our contributor. Thank you very much.
My pleasure.